Tonight, I want to speak about the murder of John O'Driscoll. John was originally from Tralee, County Kerry. His wife was Kelly Purcell. John had one child. Her name was Priscilla Purcell. They were a very happy family. Life was going normal for him, like any Irish family, when Kelly was diagnosed with cancer and she died shortly afterwards. John was heartbroken, but he continued to raise his daughter on his own. John had 4 brothers and 7 sisters. He was dearly loved. He lived next door to his mother in Tralee. After being released from Dungarvan Garda Station, John's mother witnessed his injuries and she begged him to go to hospital. But John was so traumatised after the beating he had received in the Dungarvan Gardaí, he just told her he wanted to go and sleep. John had some serious injuries to his face. 2 of his teeth were after being knocked out, and he had cuts and bruises all over his face. John was complaining of head pain and headaches and was extremely tired. He described how the beating went inside the Garda Station in Dungarvan. John told his mother that he was arrested in Cappaquin. He was put in a paddy wagon and he was brought to Dungarvan Garda Station. He was pulled and slapped to the ground. The guards jumped on his head and dragged him into a cell with a couple of guards. There where they continued to badly beat him with battens as they handcuffed him to a chair. He said he couldn't protect himself when he was handcuffed and there was blood everywhere. The beating of John continued for hours. John was terrified what was coming next. Eventually he passed out. The guard that John mentioned to his family on multiple occasions was James Fenton. As you can see in this video here, James was well known to be a thug and a bully. You can see him here bullying some children in Dungarvan. James was also known to be quite violent, like many of the Gardaí in Dungarvan Garda Station. John described coming in and out of consciousness and the beating never ending. He was on a pool of blood inside in the cell and handcuffed at the same time. No way was it possible for him to protect the blows he was getting to the head. At the same time, James Fenton jumped on his head on multiple occasions. The next morning, John's family went into the room to find John dead. They've been working around the clock trying to get a proper investigation into the death of John. John is like so many other people that went into the Garda Station in Dungarvan in a healthy condition and died within 24 hours. His family have been crying, looking for justice ever since, and they keep coming up against a brick wall. Clearly, something has to be done about the violence of the Garda Síochána in Dungarvan, the endless deaths of so many people by the hands of the Gardaí. Between 2020 and 2022, 72 people have died in the hands of the Gardaí around Ireland. The number is staggering. When you look at countries that is 8 and 10 times the size of Ireland and they have less deaths. Something has to be done and a major inquiry is needed into the deaths of all these young men that have all died violently by going into custody by the Gardaí in Ireland. We have one of the most violent police forces in Europe, and these members of the Garda Síochána need to be held accountable. Rest in peace, John.